Hey everyone, I'm here today to share a scary story. This story is called Whispers Come from Room 6. Let's get into it. It was well past midnight when David's old sedan rolled off the empty highway. Rain tapped against the windshield, the wipers squeaking with each pass. He hadn't passed another car in over an hour. His GPS kept repeating, "Next right. Turn into Echo Pines Motel." When the headlights swept over the building, he almost kept driving. The motel looked dead. Half the neon letters on the sign were burned out. The vacancy light flickered weakly, casting a faint red glow on the puddles. The parking lot was empty except for one rusted pickup truck, coated in dust like it hadn't moved in years. Inside, the lobby was dimly lit by a single desk lamp. Behind the counter stood a man, or maybe just a shape of one. Tall, thin, his skin pale like paper. His eyes didn't match his smile. "You'll be in room 6, the man said without looking at any register. David frowned. "I didn't." The man slid a tarnished brass key across the counter. "The others are full." David glanced around. "What others?" he asked, but the man didn't answer. The hallway to room 6 was narrow, the carpet squishing under his shoes like it was still wet. The wallpaper peeled in strips, revealing dark stains beneath. Room 4 had its door chained shut from the outside. Room 5's number plate was gone entirely. Then came room 6. The door was heavier than it looked. The brass number was cold under his fingers. Inside, the room was cleaner than he expected. A small bed, a desk, a single mirror on the wall. The air smelled faintly of damp wood, and something metallic. David tossed his bag on the bed. The motel was probably cheap, but he couldn't see a price on the wall or ask about it now. Either way, he was too tired to care. When he turned on the TV, only static filled the screen. And when he flipped through the channels, all that played was a buzzing hum. He showered quickly. The water was lukewarm. On the towel rack hung a small framed photo. It looked to be an ad, possibly for the motel itself, taken decades ago. 2 men posed in front of a nearly identical room. The one in the foreground smiled broadly, teeth stained yellow. The other loomed in the background, half in shadow, his grin sharp and predatory. Wrapped in a thin bathrobe, David returned to the room. He flopped onto the bed. The springs sagged pleasantly, giving way under his weight. As he drifted off, he heard a creak. It sounded like the floorboards sighing. Around 2 a.m. and David woke to a sound. A whisper, soft, like someone standing just at the edge of his hearing. At first, he thought it was the wind through the old windows. But then he heard words, clear, slow. "You shouldn't be here." He sat up, heart thudding. The whisper came again. "Leave? Before he knows you're here." David stood, crossed to the mirror. For just a moment, just one, he thought he saw a shadow standing behind him. Tall, still, its head bent down as if it were listening to his heartbeat. He rubbed his eyes. It was just a trick of the light, a figment of his imagination. David poured himself a glass of water from the rusty tap. As he drank, he watched the red vacancy sign outside. A sudden gust of wind made the whole building shake. The neon flickered, plunging the room into near darkness. In the mirror, the silhouette returned. Taller now, closer, its face obscured by the darkness. David poured the remaining water back into the glass and splashed it on his face. He needed sleep. He needed answers. Or maybe he just needed to get out of there. The next morning, David confronted the owner. "Who else is in the room next to mine?" he asked. The man didn't blink. "No one. Rooms 5 and 7 are empty." David mentioned the whisper. The man's face shifted, like a crack appearing in stone. "Some people hear things here. Room 6 is older than the rest. It's better if you don't listen." When David pressed him for more, the man simply said, "The last guest in 6 didn't check out." That night, the whispers returned. Only this time they were louder. More voices, layered over each other. Some were crying, some were laughing, quietly, almost mockingly. David covered his ears. It didn't help. The voices weren't coming from outside. They were inside the room, inside him. Then one voice rose above the rest, the same from the first night. "He's coming. He likes when you fight, but you can't win." And then came knocking. 3 slow knocks on the mirror. David approached cautiously. His reflection didn't move the same way he did. It smiled when he wasn't smiling. Its eyes darted to something behind him. When David spun around, there was nothing. But the room felt colder. He grabbed his jacket, deciding to leave immediately. But when he opened the door to the hallway, there was no hallway. Just black. Endless, silent black. The whispers became screams. The mirror rippled as if the glass was liquid. Hands, pale, long-fingered, pressed against the other side. His reflection whispered, "It's your turn." The glass shattered inward. Something stepped out, tall, thin, its skin pale like paper. Its eyes didn't match its smile. David tried to run, but room 6's door slammed shut on its own. The last thing he heard was the motel owner's voice, echoing from everywhere at once. "Another guest has checked in. Thank you for listening to this scary story. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe and share with your friends. Leave a like if you liked it, and a comment if you have a story to tell. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.